Hey, Max here. So Eric Rayweather, as you see behind me, little info, put out a video. He didn't really break it down on gameplay. Go subscribe to Eric Rayweather right now. One of the best out there to do it. We're gonna go ahead and show you gameplay. So I've played the game, the beta, basically the same version this is recorded on, so not a final product. Rayweather stuff will be linked in the description. Of course, you can go sub to him there. They did the walkout and everything. So this is against the CPU. I don't really care that much about the presentation portion of it. I want to break down the gameplay, the kickoff deep into the end zone. I kind of want to go through the things I've seen, the things I've noticed, and just go play by play, right? As we have a lot to get through. Because they've updated some things, left some things alone. There's some annoying part. Again, presentation, playbooks got updated as we know. So let's just free roam. So okay. Basically off the bat, and this is going to be kind of how it goes, so you guys are going to see me break it down tape by tape. What I like about this is the linebacker reaction. Too often in previous years, the linebackers would kind of start with their zone assignments backwards. Now, I don't know exactly what defense the defense is in, but it's definitely noticeable when you play the game how much better the linebackers flow and react. Now, we say that and how much better that is, and again, we don't know what the defense is in. But this guy right here on the counter side, so good here on the linebacker, bad here on the edge defender. So the edge defender right here, if we back it up, back it up, Terry. He's on the outside shoulder of the tight end. Now, he could be in some sort of twist or something, but this is just kind of how it plays out too frequently in Madden historically, so I'm just going to go ahead and say this is still a problem. Watch how he plays this stretch. You see how he goes in, and then he gets like a double shed weird thing, but they got the edge really well. So I hope it's not this bad, but the fact that he should be the force defender out here and he doesn't do his job generally is why stretch has been one of the most effective runs in the game's history. So that's a major problem still, but you saw the linebacker, because you saw the fill linebacker fill his, I would guess, run gap is where that is, a pre-assigned run gap. But then this guy doesn't do his job to force the ball back inward. So it's not so much like these guys won on the double team. It's more like this guy took it out of the play, which is awful. Now watching the downfield blocking here. So watch this. The little guy actually dominated the bigger guy there, but we don't know the ratings difference there. Could be a plucky Steve Smith type that took him down, so that's not that big of a problem. But downfield blocking is an issue in the game. Right here looks like we got press coverage. He hot-rodded Anderson to a fade pattern, and the fade beat the one-on-one cover one press. So Anderson is a star, and it does look like I believe the other guy was not a star. So it makes sense why you don't want to press the star receivers, because they are better than you. So that's just a fundamental breakdown by the defense. More celebrations, custom animations they put into the game, replays and stuff, but we always skip those. The kicking meter is the same as last year. It's pretty standard. I know you get the options. Do you have options in CFB? I know you have options in Madden to change it. I don't know if they did in CFB. Once again, that is the... Yeah, that is the option to change it in CFB. Never mind. That's the other one, if I call it correctly. It looks like it was a return up the middle that they just decided to book it left on. All right, so here we go. On defense now, as Rayweather is LSU, seeing as it is his home team. The crowd is a rockin', okay? So you can see it a little bit on defense. The offense is dealing with it currently. The Stadium Pulse ranked number 1, huh? LSU's that tough. Okay. So he's in man coverage, and this has been a major issue in the last couple years of Madden and CFB when they've brought in this auto motion stuff. One, as a user, you get locked at as the snap is happening, so you can't frequently adjust to jet sweep motions. Two, watch this play out. So it's man-to-man coverage. Watch the defender motion around. You see how when the ball is snapped, the guy that's assigned to the receiver goes ahead and plays the run because he's in the box. You see how he's trailing the receiver. He plays the handoff instead of going and playing his man assignment. He also ends up running into Rayweather's user, which causes a problem too. So let's not act like Rayweather wasn't at fault there too. But it's been a problem, and one of the reasons why auto motion has been the best scheme and will continue to be the best scheme, because it is a slight exploit. It is a slight fundamental problem with the game. All right, more auto motion, and that time they kept up a little bit better. The man coverage was beat to the inside. I'm fine with that because in press 2-man, they do a trail, and I think it's trail outside is what they have. All right, this is a zone blitz. Looks like a cover 3 match unless he changes his shading here. So let's watch cover 3 match play out. It is actually run, so cover 3 match is not there. And his user slips past a couple box, but the big boy, did you see that? Did you see the big boys fundamentally put the beef down? Watch this. Watch 72-52. Pop, pop. They played out the same animation. So 52 missed Rayweather's user. But then as soon as he engaged downfield with 11, I would assume it's due to the weight mismatch. This was great. Sorry, we could play it out again here. Boom. They both put on the ground. So the beef will matter. Let's play it back one more time. Boom, boom. There you go. He just made a heck of a user play. But, man, if he would have missed that tackle, if that would have been broke, ooh, he'd still be running right now. Stadium Pulse is still going crazy, even though a few first downs. It's because LSU is up, making it hard. Like, I don't know if you saw that, those question marks above the head. That's part of the Stadium Pulse. So, like, it looks like, an RPO? It looks like they don't know what button to press, which is the question marks. And then pursuit, and it takes him down. All right, well, fair enough. Let's keep going past it. All right, man blitz now. He's using the running back. He's not hovering the gap. The running back picked up the blitz and the ball. And this is one of the reasons why we saw this when we played the beta. Man coverage was so overpowered because, like, quarterbacks are bad. And if you throw the ball on what should be an easy win, right? A slant, like a high schooler hits this. But because the defender is in a slight spot, or even if they weren't close to the quarterback, they would just sometimes miss the throw. See how this is thrown behind the receiver? On the presumptive number 1 draft pick this next season, and it gets knocked out. So because of how bad the quarterback was throwing that, college quarterbacks aren't perfect, even though they're thought to be, generational. That's the reason why man-to-man was so powerful, was the missed throws from the quarterbacks. And he's lucky that wasn't picked off. Wow, that was actually a coffin corner punt. Wow, that was like MLG, dude. That's CPU. I know people are like criticizing in previous years. Ouch. Criticizing previous years how bad punters were in this game and how they'd never pin people. Well, guess what? You're at a parade, buddy. You're getting pinned. Do they still give out pins at parades? Or is that a weapon now? Yeah, you hate it. Did you just run a draw? Did Ray want to draw at the goal line? It's a CPU, Fox. It don't matter. Okay, that's kind of funny. This don't look like a draw. Wait, this ain't a draw. This is just like an inside zone. Then why is 78 and 56 backing up? I guess I'll argue that they just got beat on the blocks. Not the prettiest looking blocking situation, but we're back in man-to-man. Cover 2 this time, but they're off the ball for some reason instead of pressed. He should be pressing his defensive backs right here. The Stadium Pulse, as we saw, eliminated 2 receiving threats. This is one of the reasons why I don't love Stadium Pulse. Is like you got to use the same formations to remember what buttons are in receivers. But it's not like the quarterback forgets how to throw a ball to a guy. It's kind of I do not like that aspect of Stadium Pulse, making the receivers' buttons go away. Here it is. He gets out late with his user to the running back. He gets his tackle broken, but the pursuit's able to grab him. There it is. Keep going. Defense. Was that a cover 4? Let's take a look at it again. It is a cover 4 max. It is a run, and the defense gets it. So it looks like it's a D-line twist, with the defensive tackle having the outside shoulder responsibility on the offensive tackle, with the defensive end shooting underneath. Is that what we saw? I guess I can rewind for the actual play art. Because the defensive tackle does a really good job, strangely enough. Come on. There it is. It's not. Oh, I see how it is. So the guy's in a hard flat out there. But the defensive tackle in like a 4-eye formation actually has edge responsibility. And watch him actually play. Surprised the hard flat His run gap fit must be to the inside shoulder of the tackle because the defensive tackle has the outside shoulder. And watch it play out on the field. So the outside guys goes inside, even those assignments, the zone and outside. The defensive tackle keeps pushing outside, and then they make the play due to slipping off the block. It ended up working out, right? The outside guy made the outside tackle. Wasn't pretty, but we take those. All right, he's once again manned up on the running back with his user. He's not having the line to screw up the offensive line, though, and the quarterback makes a great decision under pressure. Arch Manning is, doing Arch Manning things. Found an open receiver on like a little hook curl. All right, once again, bringing the house. What's nice about this is generally that cover zero is how you want to play against any sort of computer because they don't play very well against cover zero. You just got to like jam them for a little bit, then you win. So the fact that the quarterback is actually the best quarterback in college football, presumably, depending, right? He really hasn't played a whole lot. But him making those passes as the CPU should be how it's done. Okay? He shouldn't be seeing ghosts like, Kennesaw State's quarterback will be. That's what they said in their blog, and it's looking like, at least Arch is doing it so far. Looks like a jet sweep, and the defense doesn't react, but they're in zone coverage, so they just kind of stay disciplined, and it looks okay to me, the way this is played. I'm looking at 14 and 10 on the edge rusher. 10 goes head up, crashes down a little bit. He's able to get the edge and make the tackle. All right, we're fine with that. Surprised no double team animation played out there, though. All right, 4 verticals. No auto slide on this one like we see in Madden, and the D-line just dominates. Maybe they pass committed, but it is a star D-lineman. That's just, you know what? I'm okay with that. That's just how it happens, right? The reason why I'm okay with this, 3rd and 4 going 4 verticals, classic video game player, because this is how guys like TJ Watt, if you leave him one-on-one with an offensive tackle, this would be him a majority of the snaps. That's why they have to chip him every time. Animation played out, got the sack. 100% okay. The only time I don't like it is when animations don't play out and the offensive lineman just kind of freaks out and looks like a Three Stooge. So we got a couple formation audibles over to bunch strong. Looks like a flood concept on the right to the short side of the field. A 5-man route, and then we had a speed. Was that a speed out to the left? Yeah, speed out against off coverage. That's just good football right there. We take those. All right, Anderson's 3 catches for 94 yards. Okay, so what do we have here? It's strong again. This time bunched to the wide side. Behind the line of scrimmage, Ray Weather didn't even try and make him miss, right? He bro forgot he had a right thumbstick here. Unless he inputted it too late. All right, now they're doing their subs tray offset changes. So he's got was that Katy Perry and Halle Berry? Katy Perry is his halfback 4? Wow, she went back to college? Halle Berry. You know what? It's never too late for a career change. Know that. Okay, so they brought in Katy Perry, and it looks like Durham is still in the game. So next play. Oh, so there is the auto slide function here. All right, this just looks like a PA no, not even PA, but just crossers. A heavy blitz. This is so we had 5. The defense sent how many? 6. The defense sent 6 against 5, and Ray Weather's protection actually held up because of how dumb that 6th rusher was. Do you see how it's trying to double team the right tackle? This is not good, man. Look at how wide that hole is here. Look at how wide this is. He's got all this time, but he decides to go here. Oof, that's not great. That is not great. Flat out bad. No other words for it. All right, looks like he's got some man-beating routes, zone. Okay, so it is man-to-man. Let's see what he's got. The pass rush seems to be winning up the middle a lot. And then Nussmeier is going to throw it on break and actually complete it. One thing is, like, guys in coverage do hang on to the ball a decent amount from what I saw in the game. Against man coverage, it's hit or miss. But against man right there, he did hang on to it. It sometimes feels like the better the coverage, the better chance of you hanging on to it which is unfortunate, but that's the way the numbers break. All right, 4th and 1 he's going for instead of taking the 8-point lead. He runs another. This duo is this ain't a trap. Inside zone. I didn't see what he selected, but yeah, it was just inside zone. And he got the first. I don't love the way the blocks look, but I'm fine with it. All right, so we sub back in his halfback. Threw it to the flat. And, was that Katy Perry? Went down with an easy tackle. Caden Perry. Oh, I wonder if they're related. 5 wide. I love me some 5 wide sets. Run with a quarterback, dude. Run a QB draw. Run some powers. I really think those are going to be really good this year in Madden and CFB's quarterback runs. And he just got hit. Like, when you go 5 wide, the defensive line is absolutely teeing off on you. I'm okay with the pass rush being vicious, especially if their defensive ends are star defensive ends. Texas always seems to have a pretty darn good defensive line. At least they get drafted insanely high, right? Murray. We had a big boy. Oh, who am I thinking of for Tennessee right now? Why can't dude? I love the guy. Why can't I think of his name? I don't know. I'm not a smart man. All right, so we had a field goal. Okay, what was this? Kickoff. And yeah, LSU won the engagement there. Might as well have fair caught that. Cover 4 quarters. Defense changed a bit due to the D-line stunts. We got stuntmen out there, but a lot of like the base calls have been updated slightly. Stadium pulse is kind of low right now. It is a screen. Block set up well. I think screens in football games, Madden specifically, have not either been like overpowered or terrible. And most years they're terrible because when they're overpowered, they're really annoying. But I'm okay when screens are good because like that way with a good user, you can shut down a screen well. Right? Like he uses user there to shut it down. Like screen recognition should be on you, the person on the sticks. All right. So now he's in double A gap, which, you know, is probably going to be meta again, which all it is. Here is a man coverage. He pressed it. And, oof. Was that just a superstar versus a nobody? Kind of looked like it. Yeah, it looks like they played it shaded under man. He threw an in route with a guy with inside technique. Not a good decision, Arch, but that's what happens when you bring pressure. Arch tried to rely on his guy winning his route. The guy didn't win his route. And the defense got a turnover. Double A gap, man. If you played Madden at the end of the season, you know what it is. It looks like it's probably going to be meta at the beginning of the season too. So I think that's kind of like I wanted to see some pursuit and talk about it more, especially like safety pursuit. Didn't see a whole lot of things I could talk about. Pursuit's okay. There's still major issues with it. Some downfield blocking issues. All right, let's try this. Let's watch the receiver specifically downfield block here. And that was okay, man. I did not mind that downfield block. Sometimes on blocks. So if you watch the player, the animation takes too long to play out. So like you get a win, but the animation's so long that you actually don't win at all. You actually lose because your guy goes past it. So watch the defensive end. First guy we're going to watch is right here against number 10, which is, one of them pretty boys. So he, like, won the engagement, but then can't close the gap, right? He doesn't reach out, doesn't try and grab him. That's a problem. This guy is then the next one we want to look at. So watch the block out here on the outside, who has outside. This guy's job is to funnel everything back inside. So he needs to be winning his blocks out here to funnel back to the rest of the defense. What does he do? He wins his block to the inside, giving up the outside. So he is not fundamentally sound. Going to get yelled at in film study for this one. His animation played out, But then, like, the guy came back and was able to easily get him because he abandoned his responsibility. All right, so let's watch it again. The rest of it. How does 6 do? 6 goes to the safety, does a pretty good job holding him up. Okay, and we watch 10. So that's kind of what I talk about. We can look at the pursuit. Let's watch the backside safety here. So this guy gets blocked. Let's watch you against the toss. And, yeah, he gets there by the goal line. Maybe not the greatest. I feel like in reality, this guy has to maintain his pass defense because of the double pass potential. So I'm fine with that. I would hope that he'd, like, pinch it a little bit to the middle. But right here, he should kind of, like, be going straight across, right? This is some of the problem with some of the safety pursuit. It's not terrible in this play. Let's be real. If we watch it play out, he's going across. That's all right. He might have a bad speed. He looks slow. Now he starts to bend it backwards. But then he bent it too far backwards right there. That's a problem, right? Do you see how his takeoff angle? I like that he's gliding across the 10. Watch it. He's gliding across, the 12-yard line right here. That's cool. But then he bends it all the way back to the 10, to the 5, and then cuts back over. And this is nitpicky, don't get me wrong. But ideally, that's more of a straight line to the pylon. Or to right in front of the pylon. But the boom, boom, boom is one of the reasons why people hate the pursuit in this game. So if the end zone's here, in reality, they teach you, angle to the pylon. Don't angle back here like you're trying to stop him from getting to, like, the photographers, right? He's not out here, like, being like a tabloid star in the 90s, like Downey Jr. trying to punch people. Was that Downey Jr.? I don't know. I might be slandering that guy's name. Don't sue me, please. So that's a problem. Was the slight bad angle versus we're going for the freaking pylon that people are taught. All right, that's all I'm going to break down. So that's about half the video. If you want to watch the rest, again, links in the description for Rayweather. That's it for the video. Let me know what you guys think on the gameplay and everything and what you've seen so far. Do we like it? Check out my impressions from the not beta. Like I said during it, the 2-man, 3-man rush is really good. I really think it's too powerful. As we saw in that play right there, he like insta-won. Was he even a star? That wasn't even a star defensive tackle. Missed the double team. But anyways, that's it for this video. Subscribe. I'll see you guys with more CFB soon.